Once upon a time, there were two young brothers of the Egyptian Pharaoh. Their names were Chuma and Azure. The Pharaoh gave them a great challenge: build two massive pyramids as a tribute to Egypt. He promised them kingship and riches for the rest of their lives, but only if they completed the pyramids on their own, without help from anyone else. Chuma and Azure were both young and ambitious, and they accepted the challenge. Azure immediately began working. He dragged heavy stones into place, and within a few months he had completed the foundation of his pyramid. The townspeople cheered for him and praised his hard work. But Chuma was nowhere to be seen. Confused, Azure looked toward Chuma's land, expecting to see progress. Instead, he saw nothing. When he went to find his brother, he discovered Chuma working on a strange machine that looked almost like a torture device. Azure asked, "Chuma, what are you doing? Why aren't you building your pyramid? The Pharaoh may see this as disrespect and kill you." Chuma calmly replied, "I am building my pyramid, just in my own way. You build yours, and I will build mine." Azure shook his head and went back to work. Another year passed. Azure had now reached the second level of his pyramid, but the higher it grew, the harder it became to carry the stones. He even hired Bennu, a local strong man, to train and motivate him. But as the pyramid rose, the work became more painful and exhausting. Still, Azure pushed on, determined to stay ahead of Chuma, whose pyramid still had not appeared. Then one day, while Azure was hauling another heavy stone, he heard a loud commotion from the town square. He rushed over and saw Chuma surrounded by a cheering crowd, standing beside a huge machine made of wheels, levers, and wooden structures. Within minutes, Chuma's machine began lifting the heavy stones and placing them perfectly into position. What had taken Azure months to do, Chuma's machine was now doing with speed and ease. In just a week, Chuma completed the base of his pyramid. Within a month, he had finished the second level. Azure was devastated. He had worked so hard, yet Chuma was catching up in a fraction of the time. But instead of learning from him, Azure only trained harder with Bennu, refusing to be beaten. A few months later, Azure died from physical exhaustion, with only 2 levels left to complete. Chuma, on the other hand, lived a long and happy life. With the help of his machine, he completed his pyramid, gained wealth and free time, and became one of Egypt's greatest scholars and inventors. The lesson is simple: working hard is important, but it is not enough. To build real success and financial wealth, you must also work smart. That means using your knowledge, skills, and resources wisely, and building systems that make your effort more effective. It may take time, and people may doubt you, but in the long run, smart work can take you much further than effort alone.